Hello and welcome to another amazing Wednesday, another day to be grateful for all of the manifold blessings we have, and another day to step fully into your power and purpose. I thank you for joining me. Tonight is going to be a really juicy conversation. So Girls Trip has been all the rage, and I've heard folks going to see it three, four times. And I went and saw it myself and thought it was a really good movie. One particular character stood out for me though, and that was Ryan Pierce. And I'm gonna try not to give too many spoilers for the movie for those who haven't seen it, but you do need to go out and see it. But Ryan Pierce really stood out to me because she is a motivational speaker, an author, a high achiever, and the one who has it all. That's the life she preaches, and that's the life she lives. Except behind closed doors, things are starting to fall apart. And she feels like she doesn't really have the support system that she can fully break down and be herself in front of. And so today, this is an open letter to Ryan Pierce. And I'm honored to have with me several healers that I greatly respect to speak about their own experience with having to be the one to have it all together and be their own version of Ryan Pierce. So tonight, the first guest we have is Tynia Johnson Anderson. Thank you so much for joining me, Tynia. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I am great. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay, my name is Ty Johnson Anderson. I am a master manifester and energy manipulator. And I like to liken myself as a manifestation contractor. Like, I'm the one you call in to kick down doors when you've tried every affirmation under the sun. You've like done every incantation and ritual and all of that, and you just can't seem to move past something. I'm the person you call to manipulate reality, and so I call myself a manifestation contractor. Okay, and that's what I focus on, is getting you to a point of getting exactly what it is you want out of life. Period. Because you can have it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You can have it all.
You're
Just
right.
like she said in the movie, right?
Have it.
All righty. And
They have it all, but you can have it.
now, and for me, I honestly do believe that we can have it all. And certainly as a manifestation mentor, I absolutely understand the lifestyle of us being able to speak what we want and create it, to shift reality. And so I find it interesting, though, that a lot of people think because we can shift reality, they forget that we're human. And
Right.
that we have a human experience and a real experience sometimes that
Right.
we go through before we shift it. And so I want to talk a little bit about some of those things that are expected of those of us who are service professionals,
Mm-hmm.
particularly in the public eye. So what are some misconceptions that you think people have about coaches, spiritual folks, etc.?
Okay, I'm just sharing you real quick so that everybody on my list.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I don't want you to think that I wasn't paying
No,
attention.
you are all good, honey.
But what I think a misconception of it is that when you become spiritual, it takes away the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people that the universe never said it's not going to be a struggle. They said it's going to be worth it. Okay. So when I talk to people about some of the stuff that ails me and all of that, it's just like, well, if you're a healer, shouldn't you be able to heal yourself and do this and do that? And I'm just like, can a dentist give himself a root canal? Or does it stop him from getting cavities? No.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you're a dentist doesn't stop you from getting a cavity. Just because you're an oncologist doesn't stop you from having cancer. right? And so
Absolutely
just because
right.
I'm a healer doesn't make me immune to the shit that comes with being human.
Yes.
And I think the misconception of being a healer and even a manifester is that we transcend our humanness. And that's just not true. If anything, we become more human because we feel at a deeper level, we see at a deeper level, like we do everything to the extreme, so we become more true to our humanness. I hope
I
that.
absolutely agree with that. And, it's interesting because we always talk about the fact that we are just spiritual beings having this natural experience. And you and I were talking before I brought you on about the fact that our assignment does not give a damn about our humanness.
Does not.
And a lot of times for us to get into position to be able to serve in the way we do, we have to go through some human experiences.
Child, like
Girl.
I told you about it. Like I got a Sparta kick. Like, that one straight to the chest, like this is Sparta. Like that's the type of movement spirit gave me because I was living comfortably. I had, over a 6-figure job that I was like, oh, I'm unhappy. I want to make my business, my side hustle, the main thing. But they knew in my heart of hearts, I would have never left my job. I would have just did my job in conjunction with the business. Right. And so they was just like, fuck that, Sparta kick. You can't work no more.
Yeah.
So
what came about that you no longer could work?
One day I'm sitting at a conference and it's just like, write out your ideal day type shit, right? So I go to write out my ideal day. I'm telling them that, yes, I want to be home for my daughter. I want to do this and do this and do this. 3 hours later, because I'm a manifester.
Yes.
Hours
So
later,
number 3.
In urgent care, seizing on urgent care's floor out of nowhere. Just fell out, started having seizures. Like literally the world kind of like stopped and went in slow motion because all I could see is like doctors running from every room because urgent care isn't equipped for that kind of thing. I just thought I had like the flu or something. No. Next thing you know, I'm being took it out on a stretcher. They couldn't find anything physically wrong with me. Except I'm having seizures, yes, but they can't figure out why. And months later, I forgot how to walk. I woke up one day and just couldn't walk. All of that, and I tried my damnedest to work through it. I did, because I'm stubborn. I was like, I'm just going to go to work, deal with it.
Right, you know how we do. Try to heal everybody and
because I'm a soldier. I'm a trained soldier, so it's like, suck it up, drive on. Let's keep it moving. Nope. It came to a point where it was just like, you have to face the music and use what the benefits that you pay for, which is short and long-term disability. So a week of Thanksgiving, after a month of being hit with it, I went on disability and I attempted to go back to work. And every time I attempt to go back to work, I get worse. And so it's just like, are you not hearing us?
Right. Yeah, so for those who are watching and you're like, who is us? So you are referring to your spirit guides, correct, Ty? Okay.
Right.
So and that brings up a whole different aspect of it because we know that for those of us who are spiritual, we not only have to deal with the humanness of having it together, but then still having to do an assignment even when our natural body doesn't feel good, right? So you talked a little bit about some of the health things that you went through. Is that something that's still ongoing?
It is. It is. And what I had to do was manipulate my life in such a way that I can still show up and do what they need me to do, but then honor my body as well. So it was like coming to a compromise. And it's just like, I know you want me to do this, but I can't give give all day, every day. I can't physically do
Mhm.
it. And so I structured my life in such a way that like it works. As I went from someone running 5Ks to someone who literally could look at a flight of stairs and forget how to walk up them.
Mhm.
And so that was a huge ego blow for me. And it still is. Like, I still get in my moods like, Ty, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. And I get more accomplished from my bed than a lot of people do being able to like walk around
Yes.
in my bed.
Working a 12-hour day.
Yeah, I'm in my bed like 70% of the time. Like, if you follow me, the blue wall behind me, that's my bed.
Okay.
I'm just sitting up. That's it.
Okay. So now that brings up a really interesting point because I actually find that a lot of motivational speakers, particularly in this new era of build your online business and
Yes.
work from the comfort of your bed, I find that a lot of online entrepreneurs are dealing with certain health issues.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that affect you showing up? Because people don't care when they need Coach Ty. They don't care that you just had a seizure.
Right. And when I first started, I was doing everything the traditional online marketer told you to do. Ooh, webinars and da 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 and da 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 da. And I'm just like, I had to face the reality that that does not work for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, and so I had to structure my business in such a way that it does work for me. You won't find me doing a bunch of webinars because that's planned in advance, and you got to show up whether or not you're having seizures or not, right?
Yes.
I do a lot of my work on the phone, and my current programs are we get on the phone 1 to 2 times a month, and everything else is via email, inbox, and all of that. So you really have to get clear on how it is you can show up, okay,
Okay.
and be
I
okay,
like that.
being different.
I like that idea of structuring your business because it really is your business.
Mhm.
So instead of pretending and having that happy face, like everything's always great, really structuring things around your needs.
Right.
Okay.
And my clients know. Um, I, I, there's a lot of transparency
Mm-hmm.
in my business, so my clients know my struggle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But ever since I structured my business the way that I did, very seldom do I have to not meet a client demand, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like, okay, I could push through for this 1 hour and then go
Mm-hmm.
back to sleep, right?
Right. Right.
And so it's not just when I first started, it was like hour after hour after hour of calls, and I was just
Mm-hmm.
no, I can't do that. I can't
Yeah.
trade my time for money like
Mm-hmm.
that.
And we know, people say all the time is money. It's not.
It's
And
not.
you absolutely cannot. And a lot of times, and we were kind of talking about that before, a lot of times people feel that because they pay you,
Mhm.
that not only are you trading your time for money, you're almost trading your freedom and your life for
Yes,
money.
yes, yes.
How do you handle that? Have you ever had a client that has treated you like that? That because they pay you, you are their go-to fix my life?
Yes. Okay. So I try to empower my clients as much as possible.
Mhm.
So when we work together, sometimes I'm just like, what do you feel? What is it that you're hearing? And all that. So I push them to rely on themselves a lot. But
Mhm.
I have clients or previous clients that still like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I'm just like, look, if you're going to be doing this work, you have to be able to stand in your own power. Period. If you're going to be doing spell work, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your power. So I try to empower my clients to not rely on me. Because first of all, I'm not the end all be all. Don't put me on the pedestal because I will surely fall. Period.
Be your own damn guru.
Yes. So I tell them I'm not your end all be all, and just because I do it a certain way doesn't mean it's the only way. I'm not. So people be like, what should I have on my altar? Whatever the hell you want. Like, you know, there's no right or wrong in this thing. And I think people get caught up in doing it right instead of honoring how they feel and who they are. Do not trade one dogma for another.
Honey, yes.
Because everybody's like, oh, so you're a witch, and I was just like, no. But you do spell cast. Yeah, but I'm not a witch. Right. I take what I like to do and infuse it with me, and that's how I rock and I roll, and that's how I want you to be. Take whatever feels good to you. If Christianity feels good and you still want to do meditations and you still want to do some spell work and candle magic and all, mix it all up and you have a little spiritual gumbo. I don't care.
Absolutely. Do what works. The universe for you.
Doesn't either. And the universe doesn't either.
I love what you said about don't trade one dogma for another. And I think that actually is a really perfect time to bring on our next guest, Dale Brewer, who is an intuitive life coach. And I would love to hear her input on this conversation. Hey there, Dale. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Good. So Ty and I have been talking about this, BS that as healers, we're just supposed to have everything together. And so I would love to hear your input about your experience. So tell us who you are and what you do.
Okay. My name is Ms. Dale Brewer. I am an intuitive wellness coach. So I kind of merged in the kind of intuitive, kind of psychic medium kind of part of it into the wellness part of it. I'm all about natural and holistic healing. I help people heal from within. So what I basically tell my clients is that most practical counselors will try and find triggers and they'll try and figure out, what is making you feel this way? But what I do is I dig in. I dig into you and let's figure out what experiences you have had that we can kind of touch on and see why you have these blockages in your life. So that's kind of what I do. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you so much for joining us. So before you came on, we were talking about this idea that we're supposed to constantly be overachievers. And just because we are the shit anyway, folks think that, it comes easy and that there's never any struggle. And so we were kind of talking about some misconceptions that people have because particularly as spiritual healers, not only are we supposed to be happy, but we can't go through anything because we should be able to, just pray it away.
Right? We're perfect. We need to heal ourselves. Everything in our life goes the way it should be. And we definitely, what you were talking about before, having that mask, it's something that we have to do. But that's not real life. We're still human. Issues still arise and we have to deal with those issues just like anybody else. We're no different. We have just kind of dedicated our lives to helping others. So yeah, it's a struggle. It's definitely a struggle.
And I like what you said about we've dedicated our lives. And I was speaking to Ty a bit earlier about the fact that happiness is a choice. Us being conscious is a choice. And so, and us choosing not to have clapback sometimes when we probably should, it's a choice.
Absolutely.
And so how do you handle people who kind of feel like because you are a coach, you should just take their crap?
You know, a lot of times I just take them back to where I came from. And just kind of what I deal with on a personal level. I get real transparent with my clients because they need to know that we are human, and that everything's not perfect in our lives. And it is a choice. I make sure I tell my clients it's a choice to be happy. It's a choice to be sad. There are things that you can do so that you have a happy life. And that's what I'm here for. So let's figure out what you need to do, you know, in order to become that happy person that you want to be. But I'm sad sometimes, you know, and I'm sad. I'm mad sometimes. I want to clap back sometimes. It's like we were talking about with the movie that we're going to chat about. Sometimes I want to, you know, tell somebody about themselves, but I choose not to most of the time. But yeah, no, it's definitely something that I do as far as just being very, very transparent and open.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I love that you said most of the times, because I think sometimes those, again, who are healers feel like if you don't get it right all the time, there's this perfectionism. And so it's the thought that if you don't get it right all the time, that it negates the times you did get it right. So question for both of you. Tell me about a time that you've been in the midst of your own crap and still had to show up vulnerably for your audience. Sorry, go ahead.
Because I don't hear Dale. So I hear you clearly.
Okay.
So I'm trying to like nod my head and seem interested and not be like, oh my, you know. But for me, I've actually shown up to teleseminars on somebody else's platforms from a hospital bed. Like I'm literally plugged up beeping and I'm giving inspiration from a hospital bed. And that was a lot early on until I realized, look, that is not the way you're going to conduct business. That's not how it's going to look for you, because everybody's just like hustle, hustle, hustle at all costs. And if that cost is your health and your being, is it truly worth it? Because what am I doing this for? I'm doing this to be able to be around for my family, to be able to provide for my family, and I cannot do that dead.
Absolutely right. And that's powerful, because so many people have this hustle mentality, especially, you know, you jump out, you quit your job, and the first thought is, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Hustlers never sleep. And, you know, yeah, that's cute for like a week. I'm too old for that, first of all. I miss sleep. I need to sleep for 2 days to make up for it.
Right.
And it's not sustainable. Like you said, we did this so that we can be there for our families. But what are we really showing our families if we can't take care of ourselves? I like that, Ty.
Absolutely.
Okay, what about you, Dale?
Well, I know, like, just today, or just this past week, I've had a lot of pushback. I'm kind of new into making this a business. So I've had a lot of pushback. I heard Ty talking about it earlier about people thinking she's a witch or thinking she's that or whatever. You know, I am who I am, and it's all done out in love. So I've been going through a lot this past week, but like you said, I still have to show up. I still have to be there for my group. I still have to be there for my clients. You know, I got to still be here for my family. So I made a choice to not let that bother me. So, you know, like you said, I can't do this dead. I'm going to always take care of me first. And that's one thing that I tell my clients. Another thing that I tell my clients is you need to take care of you, because without you, there's nothing, you know what I mean? What can you do? There's nothing. You can't take care of your family. Your babies won't have you. So always take care of you.
Absolutely. I love that. And I love what Ash said. So Ashlyn Ray just hopped on and said, cry today, boss up tomorrow.
I love it.
We know that is the life. We can have a moment to be human. And I mean, of course we are human, but clients who have paid for sessions don't really care too much about you being
That's right.
human. And, I mean, I know some days I wake up to 10 messages in my inbox, more messages on Facebook than I have on my email. Like, y'all, can I sleep? I mean, can I sleep?
We don't sleep.
I mean, that's the thing. We don't sleep. We don't have anything. Everything should be perfect. We don't date.
We're grinding all the time.
All the time. Let's talk about this. So I know, Ty, I know you're married.
Yes.
But are you married, Dale?
No, I am recently divorced. Well, within the past year, I'm dating.
Okay. So tell me about dating and relationships as an entrepreneur. So, of course, in the movie Girls Trip, we saw that didn't work out too well. And, and we'll get into that a little bit more about how she kind of held on to this idea that it should look a certain way. And she victimized herself again and again to keep up this front for him. But how does it work when you're dating and even, having friendships, trying to get to know people? But again, you're supposed to have it all together. And, and sometimes we need our friends and we need the people that we're dating to be able to fall apart around. Mm-hmm. But we don't always get that in dating and friendships. So tell me about your experience with trying to find a boo.
Struggle. It's a struggle. I am very, very, like I said, transparent. So I kind of let them know who I am right from the get-go. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it scares them away. They're like, wait a second. You can see stuff? Like, well,
Yeah.
I'm not focused on that all the time. There's other parts of me. That's not the main part of me. I'm not trying to like dig into your subconscious or anything like that. But it's definitely a struggle. I've had to, and being transparent has allowed me to get to know people or guys that understand and that are okay with who I am. Because you have to be okay with who I am. This is my life. Yes. This is my life. You're going to walk into my house. Sometimes there might be two people waiting for me. Because in my apartment building, they know Dale's home. I'll come right over. So I'm at the pool. You got time for a reading. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm here. So they have to understand that might happen. They have to understand that I might be on the phone for a while, with my business coach or with my clients. So I just know that when we do have time together, that we spend it together. I keep it separate, just giving them their own separate time. So, that's kind of how I balance it. I need a lot of self-care to kind of free myself of the extra energy that I tend to draw and I kind of accumulate over a day. So sometimes I'll just take a couple days.
I love that.
Yep. I'll just take a couple days and I'm like, hey, you know what? I just need a couple days. They know what I do. If you don't want this to kind of bleed into the relationship, just give me this time. And then we'll be all right. And, here we go.
Absolutely. And I think that's so very necessary. And I was actually speaking to Ty about that a bit earlier, about how particularly as intuitives and spiritual coaches, not only are we dealing with the natural weight of the smile and things, having to have it all, there's also the spiritual stuff and picking up folks' energy and sometimes just needing to go days in silence so that we're not picking up anything. So I'd love to hear from Ty about how it's shown up for you as a married woman, how it shows up in your relationship.
Okay. So for me, it's a little bit different than a typical entrepreneur, right? Because I was kind of forced into this lifestyle because I got sick, even though I was doing entrepreneur stuff before. But doing it full time, I was forced into. So when this happened, I was making $130K a year. So to be stripped of that like overnight, literally, was hard on the family. But since I had disability insurance and all of that, we had a lifeline. But since it got ongoing, since I'm going on year 3 now, now I'm at a point on having to fight disability to get my money. And so it's been a year of like me just working off his money and whatever I make online. So I find myself constantly having to prove or wanting to prove, not having to, because he's very understanding, but wanting to prove that this can work.
Mm-hmm.
And like, look at me, I'm being productive. Look at me, I'm helping, right?
Yeah. Especially working
I
from
was the
home.
breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was the breadwinner. My husband is military. His salary is his salary, period. Right? So with me, I was the breadwinner, and to literally gut your family of $130,000 a year is a lot. So like I find myself
Okay, not sure what happened there, but it looks like we lost you. So the last thing I heard was you saying that you find yourself having to prove that you are doing something, and having to gut your family of that money has been hard.
It has. So most of it is me. Like, he's very stressed out financially. Because, like I said, we've been together for 11 years. Not any of those years have we ever struggled or wanted for a damn thing. So to go from that to, you know, now we got to pinch the pennies and watch what we like. We're far from hurting.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
We're not comfortable. Right? And so that's very, very stressful on him. And all I want to do, healer in me, right, is want to relieve it.
Absolutely. So that actually is a really good question. How do you fight that urge to be a healer when you should simply be being a wife?
Spirit literally tells me to shut the fuck up. Like, leave it alone. There are times when I want to like go in on them, and spirit is just like, shut up. Shut up. And I'm like, but, and they're just like, no, but. Leave alone. Leave them alone.
Absolutely.
It's hard. It's hard. But since I hear them, so I hear voices. And so I could literally, I'll sit there and have a conversation with them and be like, man, when he get home, I'm going to say, and they'll just like, you're not going to say a damn thing. You're going to
That's exactly what happens.
Right. I'm like, but he needs to know. And they're just like, no, he doesn't.
Right. No, you.
And so literally, spirit is what keeps me in check. I have moments where I cry and I cry and I cry, and I don't let him see me cry because I already know he's stressed, right? So I very rarely let him see me break down, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, because he might be thinking I got this all under control when I feel out of control a lot. But my favorite thing to do is a salt bath, playing the Lemonade album, and I cry. And I cry. Right? Redemption. I cry until we get to redemption.
Yes.
I love that. And I want to address something that we were kind of talking about earlier, this idea that we should have it together. And we know that, you know, just because we encourage, just because we're powerful, just because we have made the conscious decision to use our pain as our power and encourage other people. Doesn't mean we don't go through things.
That's right.
But sometimes we feel like we should have it together. We should be smart enough to navigate this. We should be able to use the same tools that we give our clients. So one thing, and I tell my clients all the time, should is a 4-letter word.
Right.
Y'all who know me know I don't have a problem with 4-letter words, but should is like real bad. and, and so, we have to get our should together. We have to get our shit together. So how do you stop yourself from judging yourself when you are in that space? Because it really is about extending grace and compassion for right where you are right now.
You have to have a mindset.
I personally have a friend, right? I have a friend that I could go to and be vulnerable spiritually with. Like, look, it ain't there today. Right. And she will literally be like, check the receipts, like, go ahead, pull the report. And I was like, what's that going to solve? Right. And I have a therapist. I had a therapist, like, literally, I had, especially at the beginning, I had to do it because my standards for myself is so fucking abnormally high. It just is. Like I said, for someone at 21 making 90,000, you have the master's degree, you have all these certificates, you have stuff. And so my standards for myself is always to excel. I was honorable all throughout school. If I got a C, that was like the end of life for me. I had to talk to a therapist about my irrational levels of expectation when it comes to myself. Because, and the weird thing is, I don't have those expectations of others.
We never do.
I extend a lot of grace to people when they fall short. My husband, my child, my clients. But when it comes to myself, unfucking acceptable.
Absolutely. And I find that often is the case, that when it comes to the people around us, we're able to extend that grace, but for some reason, we're not doing the same for ourselves. And I love what Marinette said. Not having it all together actually helps in healing others because it's your testimony that heals other people. And I certainly can attest that, sometimes my most transparent, y'all, I don't have it together posts are what really change people's lives. What about you, Dale? How do you get your should together?
Part of my healing and part of my rediscovery was learning how not to have those high standards for myself. I went my entire life like that, trying to please everybody, trying to be this person for that person. And it just exhausted me. It exhausted me. And part of my rediscovery and my new journey was letting all of that go. I allow myself to make mistakes. I still have some growing to do, so I think that is how I kind of get through it. My expectations are high. I do not fail, but it's okay. But it's okay to fail because sometimes that's part of your journey. And that's kind of what happened with me is I had to let it all go and just say, you know what? It's okay. I'm not perfect. And I had to tell some people, I'm not going to be who you want me to be. Correct. And that's okay too. But I'm going to love you. Thank you. And I'm going to love you and I'm going to move on. Because that's where I'm at in my life. I have children that are watching me. I have girls, and I don't want them to go through life trying to please everybody. It's never going to work. You're going to constantly be disappointed. So I do a lot of meditation. I do a lot of self-reflection. I do I journals, I have them everywhere. I have my gratitude journal. I have my venting journal. I have those things, I have those tools and those resources to kind of let it out. So I'm not constantly kind of pouring into other people. I let people pour into me and give me their energy, but I don't want that. I don't want that in my, in my sessions. I want to be me in my sessions. I want to be pure and love and grace. And so in
Yes.
order to do that, there's a lot of self-care that I do in order to get to that place daily. So, yeah.
And you just raised an incredible point that it really is about constant healing. For
Mm-hmm.
me, I find that it's about mindfulness. You know, a lot of people feel like healing is this destination you reach. And I don't know that it's so much a
Oh,
destination. I think it really is about the journey and the path, and it's about constantly remaining mindful. One of my mentors actually said something I found very powerful. She said, a healer's work is simply to be open to healing themselves. And through us being open to heal ourselves, we're then able to heal other people. And so I want to kind of get into the discussion about some things that you do to heal yourself. So I know that we have Latanya joining us. I see that she may be having some connection issues, so I'm going to wait before I pull her on. But Ty, before I let you go, can you tell me some things that you do to heal yourself? I know you said you love spiritual baths. What else do you?
Yes, I do a lot of spiritual baths. I do
Mhm.
a lot of grounding or earthing. So I will go
that's awesome.
outside, lay on the
Amazing.
ground, lay in the grass, walk in the grass barefoot. I'm barefoot a lot. I
Yes.
rarely have shoes on. And I do a lot of energy alignment, like chakra
Hmm.
alignment, balancing myself because I literally have to balance the energy that I possess because it gets overbearing.
Hmm.
So I put it in a container and align
Okay.
it.
Absolutely. I
So
love that.
chakra alignments are like my best friend. And sleep. Sleep.
Yes.
Sleep is
And I
important.
think we
I
forget
listen to
about
my body.
sleep.
Yep. Yep.
I listen to my body. Like just this week, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do a little mini reset. I'm gonna do shakes and this and this."
Hmm.
And this, like today, my body was like, "Bitch, if you don't eat some food."
Hmm. Hmm.
I ate something. I ate food. Like I
Uh,
literally just listen to my body and move from there. And so get a little bit more intuitive with what your body is really asking you, and stop trying to live to the expectations of what others perceive you should be doing.
yes, that is a really powerful one. If you need sleep, sleep, and be okay saying no to some things.
Right.
Boundaries. Boundaries are
Yep.
huge.
Boundaries are amazing.
It's so important. So
Hmm.
important.
Okay.
So.
So what about you, Dale? What are some things you do to fill your cup?
I have a nice little tribe of friends that I can go to, and like Ty said, kind of just let it all out and be vulnerable with them. One of the things that I enjoy is sun gazing. So I do the sunrise because the sunrises out here in Phoenix are amazing, and it's a great time to just kind of center yourself, do some grounding, and just watch the sun. Just watch
Hmm.
the sun, meditate. I do meditation daily.
Hmm.
Affirmations are big for me. So part of my sessions, I always encourage affirmations, and my clients to do that. They have to convince their subconscious and their at the cellular level
Hmm.
about how they want to feel. So
Hmm.
I do that. Um, I sleep. I found that
Yes.
when I started this new journey, man, before I couldn't sleep at all. Oh, you
Hmm.
put me in a bed on a pill, I'm out. So yeah, sleeping is definitely real life in my house.
Hmm.
I also I do custom essential oil blends, and so I do essential oil mixtures, and
Hmm.
I set those in my diffuser, and I just lay there. I meditate. I inhale those. So that's kind of what I do as far as self care, and I just go. I don't do baths, but I go in the shower, and I can be in there forever.
Hmm.
You
Okay.
know, talking to my guides, talking to God, just being alone with myself.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much for sharing that, Dale.
Yeah.
And I mean, I agree with all of those. And one thing that I'm hearing continually is that it really is about a practice of mindfulness and a decision to continue doing these things. It's not something that you do once and think your cup is full and then you can just pour nonstop.
You
No, this is
can't. You
something
can't
you
do it.
have to do constantly.
Hmm.
So I definitely thank you for joining me, Ty. I thank you for joining me, Dale, and for
My
sharing
pleasure.
your experience with us.
Thank you for having
So,
me.
no problem. So the next guest we will bring on is Miss Latanya Tibbs.
Hello.
Hi, Latanya. How are you?
Oh, just trying to get in the connection. I had
Yes,
so many problems.
they blocking me.
Oh, yeah,
So
so many
I would,
problems.
yes, ma'am. A little bit about who you are and what you do.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to sum it up. My name is X Tanya Smart on all social media. I am a holistic womb expert. So, what I basically do is empower women to take an organic and holistic approach to feminine care.
Mhm.
By way of services and also my store here in Columbus, Georgia, which is called the Wombeneur. And I'm also a product developer. So that's what I get to do.
Okay. And product developer, I know you're not going to just sit on this amazingness you just did. So some people are probably like, Latanya Tibbs, I'm sure I've heard that name. Where have they heard your name before?
Okay. So I just recently won last month ABC Steve Harvey's Thunderdome. So I was on there for my V Smart bar and
Mhm.
I won 10 grand. So that's probably where they heard that name before.
Okay, very good. And congratulations. You know,
Thank
I
you.
am one of your biggest cheerleaders, so I'm always going to take the chance to shout you out.
Thank you.
So before you came on, we were having this discussion about the movie Girls Trip and the main character,
Yes.
Ryan Pierce, who felt this need to have everything together. I mean, that was even the
Hmm.
name of her book. You can have it all.
Oh,
But
yeah.
as a result of her feeling like she was supposed to have it all,
Hmm.
there was a lot of judgment on her part,
Yeah.
and a failure to extend some grace where she needed it. So we were having this
Oh, yeah.
discussion about things that healers can do. Number one, to recognize that we are human, and
Yes, we
y'all,
are.
we choose to be happy and we choose not to clap back. So don't
Oh,
mistake that choice 'cause you might catch on a
oh,
wrong day.
yeah.
But and we were having this discussion about for that healer who feels that they need to constantly pour, having a discussion about some things that she can do. So I know that your work is fully centered around self-care,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. I swear
So
by it.
what do you
I'm going to say
find?
this. If you already show up as you, it won't take a whole bunch of energy from you. We
Mhm.
intend to show up with the hope that somebody approves us. But if you come as
Mm.
you, there's no, I mean, you don't, your energy won't get zapped because you're you.
Mhm.
You're not trying to be somebody else. You're you. And
Mhm.
so, I mean, you can meet me now or you can meet
Mhm.
me years from now. I am
Mhm.
still going to be me. Cause see,
Right.
here's my slogan. If I'm doing any acting, I need a check after I finish. I'm not doing that for free.
Yes.
No, I need my name up in lights. I need the credits on the screen. I'm not doing that for free. So
Mhm.
if I have to actually tweak who I am to be around a group of people, that's not the people I need to be around. And I
Mhm.
learned that the hard way because I was a hairstylist for 30 plus years. And
Mhm.
so it's like, no, this is who I am. I love who I am. And I intend to change the energy of wherever I'm at. So I'm going to
Mhm.
show up as me at the end of
Mhm.
the day. I don't know
I
no
I
other way.
absolutely love that. You're absolutely right. So, have you ever had to deal with that feeling that you should have it together? That if
Oh,
you go
well,
through a sad moment, feeling like you should know what to say to encourage yourself.
Well, here's the thing. I'm a child of 8. I'm a middle child. I have
Mhm.
2 older sisters and 2 younger sisters. So yes, being pulled, I mean, from a child, even to, well, the therapist as a hairstylist died in 2010. So I don't have that issue no more. But yes, because they don't want, it's like, no, we look up to you. You can't be down. Why can't I? And for anybody who's going around have to, make those check marks on everything. No, I discovered a little over 7 years is so much power and vulnerability. I'm obsessed with the option to be weak, because you know what? My job, I have to be in this space all the time. But when I'm not the womb expert, oh no, it's downtown for me. And actually self-care, and those who follow me on network, my me time is like a utility bill. It's going to happen. Period. Because see, you cannot take care or serve in your God ordained purpose until you are balanced. Because when you serve from that brokenness, that's what you're giving. So what you gonna produce from that? More brokenness. So no, I got to take care of me first, and I do homework. So it's mandatory that my me time. It's already like I got me time all the way till the end of this year. I'm in fact already in 2018, because I can't do this type of work if I don't serve myself. It's called balance. It took about 20 plus years for me to learn that. But when your health take a hit because of the gift that God so-called gave you, you got to retract. You got to say, no. God never intended for our God-given purpose to become a curse. And your health takes a hit first. So no, it's mandatory. I need to be vulnerable right here. And I need to stay in it as long as I need to. It's no rush. So no. We not going to do the, I'm an introvert at heart, but my job makes me be, with people. I love my downtime. I love being by myself. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like it.
Yes. So, yeah. And they think just because we run our mouth a lot that we like it. No, we don't.
Well, see, I sell a vagina soap. I sell a vagina soap. I gotta be radical. Hello.
Yes. I mean, right. Because how you gonna give somebody coochie care and you're not? You can't. Right.
And you know what? Your womb is connected to everything.
Yes.
So no. I gotta give from that overflow.
Absolutely.
And I need to, because see, when you stand there and you give out, what you fail to realize, there's a lot of darts being thrown back at you. So whether you have a win or loss, you got to go somewhere and replenish. And you got to make it a habit. It has to be a lifestyle. Not, I'm going to get a spa because it's cute. No, I'm going to get balance because I need this for my sanity. So it's a way of life for me. It's a way of life. It's like a utility bill.
I love that. So let's talk about your utility bill. So what are some of the things that you do? Because I believe in taking myself out on dates. And I just got a bae, but before I got a bae, I was bae. And I absolutely believe in dating myself. And so that is one of the things I do when I need to replenish. But I know Latanya Tibbs, if you just go to Latanya's timeline, I'm like, when does Latanya work?
Girl, I got the best job in the world. I can't lie. I get to serve women. I'm like obsessed to even walk into my boutique every day. But see, this is basically what I do. This is my routine. I definitely have a massage every month. I do a foot detox, and of course, I'm getting a bee sting twice a month. And I go sit by the ocean. Stillness is, but see, I have a lifestyle of meditation. It is the first thing that I do when I wake up, and it's the last thing I do before I go to bed. Stillness is where all the answers are. Stillness is where the partnership is. Stillness is where everything is. But if you so busy, you can't, and you sitting there praying, be still. You don't know how to be still. So it's mandatory for those things inside. I have wonderful mentors, the people who have been mentoring me since I was a teenager. And so I go and I seek, prayer and everything from them. But it's a lifestyle. It's not, I'm not doing a 30-day challenge. It is who I am at the end of the day. My me time is very important to me. It's dear to me. So yeah, and I
That's
do
it.
date myself, even though I date, but I do date myself. And I love dating myself
Yes,
because I like what I like.
exactly. Girl,
Yeah.
and that's something that we have to not lose even when we do find ourselves in a relationship.
Yes. Yes, we
So
do.
you said something really powerful, and it's something that I absolutely believe because you're right. It has to be a lifestyle. It's
Yeah.
not just something that we plug into because as soon as we unplug, then we have no
Yeah.
power. So it has to be a
Exactly.
constant flow. And so you said in stillness, there is knowing.
That is
And, we
right.
were talking a little bit before about this idea that as entrepreneurs, we're supposed to be go, 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 hustle, hustle,
Mm-mm.
hustle. So, for those who don't know how to sit still, you
Ooh.
have actually put together an amazing retreat
Yes.
coming up
Yes.
next month. So, tell us a little bit about this retreat and what people can expect.
Okay, well, I actually put together something called the Detox Life Retreat. And I
Mhm.
did that because I mean, I get to coach, I do manifestation coaching, but I get a lot of women, I meet a lot of women, and they, as you say, they got to wear all these hats. They don't know how to sit down. But the only time that we as women really start paying attention to that is when our health is declining. When our
Mhm.
health is out of whack, you don't have no other choice but to sit down. But
Mhm.
why force God to sit you down? Just listen to the whisper. You ain't got to wait for the building to fall on you. Listen to the whisper. So this was a retreat where it's all about you. It's all about love. And here's the catch. Most of us don't know how to receive love unless we're performing for it. At this retreat, you're going to have a
Mm.
team of women that's going to love on you. It's going to feel strange. You probably going to be standoffish, but at the end of the day, love is the only thing that transforms on contact, and it's with you
Mhm.
forever. So this level of love that I get to experience is mind blowing. I cannot wait to love on these queens. It's going to be all about
Yes.
them. So just them being able to get away and be themselves, because see, it's no judgment zone, but we
Mhm.
showing up to serve. And so to
Yes.
be able to be catered to, because we're going to show you what God intended for self-love from the beginning. That's why it's in the word to love yourself first, then
Mhm.
love your neighbor.
Mhm.
So this is a retreat where the only thing you're obligated to do is show up. That's it.
I
Where
love
they do
that.
that at? See, we don't go with rules. We gonna let spirit
Mhm.
move how spirit move. I cannot
Yeah.
wait. Cannot wait to love on you ladies. It is gonna be
Yes.
amazing. So yeah,
Okay.
the detox life retreat. Cannot
Okay.
wait.
So when is the retreat, and are people still able to sign up?
Okay, the retreat is actually September the 15th through the 17th.
Mhm.
Now, just because you my queen and me and you are in sister love, for
Yes,
those who are
ma'am.
serious. Now, here's the thing. I do things a different way so I can keep mess out. It is what it is. So for those who are serious about signing up, they can contact me. They can inbox me on Facebook. Deposit has already been passed, so you got to show up
Mhm.
with your money. Money
Mhm.
talk, BS
Yes.
walk. If you
Correct.
really trying to
Yes,
get your
ma'am.
life dealt with and changed, come on to the retreat. You will
Mhm.
you will not regret it. Trust me. You're gonna be
Yes,
changed.
ma'am. All right. And you said to contact you on Facebook, and your name on Facebook is Latanya Tibbs,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
All
They can
righty.
inbox me. Yeah. They sure
Okay.
can.
Yes,
Look, I'm
ma'am.
ready. I'm excited about
Yes.
this retreat.
This
I
is going
love
to
it.
be
I love it.
powerful. And I feel like we need more of these where we really are just taking the mask off and saying, honey, I get it. Because I've been there and sometimes I
Yeah.
still am there, but we
Yeah.
going to make it.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
love
But
it.
you know what? It's not about performing. It's not
Mhm.
about performing. It's about
Mhm.
extending that same grace that you look for somebody to extend to you. And I think
Yes.
we've forgotten about that. You want
Yes.
grace, you got to extend the grace.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you so much for
Well,
joining me
thank
tonight,
you.
Latanya. And thank you so much, Dale and Ty. I appreciate you guys coming on. So, for those who caught us towards the middle, a few points that were made that I really want to drive home. The first thing is that you can have it all, but you don't have to be perfect. The
Yes.
point of being a healer is having the ability to constantly heal yourself. So yes, you can have
Yeah.
it all, but make sure before you start pouring it out, you're filling yourself up. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Latanya. Thank you, Ty. Thank you, Dale. And thank you, everyone who is watching. Have a marvelous rest of your Wednesday night.